happened. So an NBA ref,
This is
who was
crazy, by the way.
who was accused recently of being Shiza. Eric Lewis is his name, and somebody put out some crazy stats like the last time he's refed Celtics games, they're like 2-13 or something like that. I don't remember which team he was in favor of, but people are pointing out that for certain teams, they always win when they have him, and then other teams always lose when they have him. Of course, they deny it. But of course, NBA also has documentaries on Netflix about how referees were corrupt. So there's that part. So this referee named Eric Lewis has had a Twitter burner account exposed. And if you don't speak the lingo like us, it means he's got an anonymous account that he secretly uses. It has been exposed and is connected to his email address. Foolish mistake. And he used it to defend his own actions on the court dozens of times. So we'll go through a bunch of these instances.
So he's a
Somebody
Celtics
says,
fan, as I understand it. He's which is weird because traditionally we're to understand that most Celtics fans are white and that the Celtics are racist. I just thought that was kind
well,
of funny.
Boston's notoriously segregated, is it not? But there's no other Boston team, so like I don't understand how that would work. Who else would Boston black guys be a
Well,
fan of?
it was from the 80s when it was Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird.
Hmm.
So it was basically just like, it was a race war, right? Like, and they do it in boxing. they do it in boxing all the time, right? Like they'll put Floyd against McGregor, whatever happens. Like they play up the race element of it to, make people angry and get them all riled up. So they fight when they're drunk.
So this guy says that his account has been outed, and it'll be a momentous day. And here's a bunch of his replies. So we've got one on the final of a Celtics Atlanta Hawks game where the Celtics lose, and this guy says, Eric Lewis, the referee, couldn't save you. And this account, which is allegedly the ref, I'll just say that once, and then moving forward, we don't have to say it again. This is Cutliff Blair is allegedly the ref who refs these games. So he saved them in the first two games? Get out of here. Y'all keep hating. Stop blaming the refs for the Celtics' success. So he's a Celtics fan who maybe he thinks allegedly thinks it's a great idea to be worse for them to cover it. I don't know. Then we've got another one. Jason Tatum has 51 points. Somebody points out Harden is 1-14 with this guy named Scott Foster being the ref, and the Celtics are 34-2 in Eric Lewis officiated games. His family is full of Celtics fans. So that's what it is. He's a Celtics fan, and the Celtics are notoriously good. If this person's correct, which I don't know, of course, the Celtics are 34-2, and this is as recently as May 14th, so just a couple weeks ago. And then the account says, yeah, and Lewis shot 51 points. So, yeah, I don't know who he even means by Lewis, but and we'll go to the next
you
one.
see, that's him, right? Like razzing the other guy, saying,
Oh, like he didn't score that many. The
"Yeah,
Celtics guy scored that many.
yeah."
Okay. And this one says they're the number one seed with a crazy Vegas line showing they are favorites, and they got Eric Lewis and Tony Brothers to officiate the first two games. What more do you want? That account says, hold your players accountable. Refs had nothing to do with you guys losing. Lakers nation blame is shifting. He responds to another one that says that the games with those two referees are out of the way. Lakers still blaming refs, huh? Y'all play the number one team in the NBA and they don't get any credit. Y'all funny. So it is kind of weird that if this is him, he's responding to every single time a person criticizes the ref of that name, who the guy is allegedly, secretly, actually him. Every time somebody mentions this ref's name, he's jumping in to say, like, no, I don't think so. This referee was not happy with Jimmy Butler making his layup. Is that the dude who was wearing the Celtics jersey at home before the Philly games? And then the count says, also, Eric never wore a C's jersey. That was fake. Who in the world has ever called a referee by their first name? There's one referee in any sport I could name. Well, I can name NHL ones. I'm lying to you. This is hockey, but those are old referees. Current referee, I can name the NFL referee Ed Hockley because he's the big buff referee. I would still never call him Ed. Who's calling a referee by their first name, Eric? Do you know any refs' first names?
No, I only know one referee, and that's the last name, and that's from the Netflix documentary, right? Donaghy, I believe his name is. So no, I don't know any of these guys, but I think it's also very funny that in true alleged burner fashion, he doesn't have a photo. It's like that's the
Of course.
mark. That's like the stereotypical like meme, like the mark of somebody who's faking their account. Like you couldn't put up anything. You couldn't even like shout out Leroy Press. He puts the most interesting man in the world on his pro. Like you couldn't put anything on there. You couldn't put a Lakers logo to throw them off the scent. Like you couldn't do any of that stuff. You just went with the blank profile picture to go out there and defend yourself as a referee. It's actually really quite hilarious.
And
And
this is a week ago, Eric. This is guy commenting on this in the playoffs while the while the Celtics are playing.
so, do we trust any of this stuff? Do we trust
There's
any of it?
more. We've got more. The NBA keeps assigning Eric Lewis to Lakers games. A referee is a known lifelong Celtics fan and despises the Lakers. His Celtic record proves it, though. So this doesn't appear to be a secret by any means. I appear to be not in the know about this subject. If he is a known Celtics fan who, of course,
Wait,
hates the
wait,
Lakers and
go
vice
down.
versa
Read
because
his
of the 80s, well, we
read his.
will.
Okay.
His Celtics record proves it, though. Bro, that Celtic record was fake news, yet you believe what you want to push your narrative. Investigate your source. Investigate your source. Like, nobody actually talks like this in sports comments. Nobody talks like they're an investigative journalist. Like, I've never been commenting on a sport where I'm just like, check your verified source, sir. How dare you get how dare you get Jamario Moon's statistics incorrect? Like nobody talks like that when you're talking shit about sports. I'm sorry. You're outing yourself, dude.
So say this is him, right? Because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know for sure, but using the assumption that it is him and these internet sleuths are correct, does the NBA do anything? Does this matter at all? Do they just sweep it under the rug? Like, how does this end?
Well, I don't think that proves any wrongdoing if he's just going around defending himself. If he's not gambling on his own games or anything like that, I think it might look bad, and maybe that's clearly Job Morant. That's clearly part of the rule book. I don't know what the refs agreement is, but it's a bad look. They might just say, "Hey, you can't do that anymore." But I wouldn't think that he's breaking any rules by third personally defending himself as a pretend internet fan.
Okay, well, it doesn't
Blair
look good,
cut
bro.
riff.
It doesn't look good.
I think it's hilarious. Another tweet says Eric Lewis got exposed as a Celtics fan. Now he's getting 0 assignments, and it's referee assignments, and he's not in the Lakers versus Denver Nuggets game for May 22nd, 2023. And then the account responds to that. It's a post of for the audio listeners. It's basically a post that says all the referees that are assigned for this game, and then the same account responds with, "Yeah, he worked G1 Denver LA." Like, you're just a fan that just knows about referee assignments off the top of your head. He's not citing any evidence or anything. Well, you're just like, actually, this referee was assigned to this. Either you're the biggest like
Yeah,
not most knowledgeable person about referee assignments, and you think that it's a travesty like I've never seen somebody defend a ref this much because
yeah.
it's
I
different
think
teams. He's saying it's Lakers and everything, but like, and I get that, but he would have to be a Celtics fan. Like you're going out of your way to comment on Lakers and Nuggets games. Why about the reffing? All to defend this one referee?
yeah, that's more of a giveaway than him mistakenly using the same email, right? Like he uses his own person. Like, dude, these people, and obviously, how can we talk about this without mentioning the classic Kevin Durant, which is not quite as bad because Kevin Durant's just a sensitive guy who was out there like trying to defend himself. But this to me leads a little bit more into perhaps some foul play, allegedly.
There's one more. I don't think I understand it. Somebody named Cole says, "Why was everyone going crazy about Chris Paul being 0-11 in games officiated by some ref named Scott Foster, who we've heard? No one cares about LeBron having a whole 0-82 games officiated by Eric Lewis." Then the account says, just like they're not talking about Smurfs taking over London. I don't know what that means. It perhaps just like it means, obviously, they're not talking about something that doesn't matter. And that stuff isn't true. Stop spreading lies. Get the F out of here. If this was not the guy, if this is not the referee, this would have to mean that somebody is going through Twitter, searching a referee's name, and then just going around defending him. Because this one is about LeBron and through his whole career. Are you that insanely hateful of the Lakers that like you defend this whole thing about this one referee? I've never heard of such a thing. If you want to hate a referee and you think he's cheating for my team, that's like I don't care. like, I guess I can understand like you don't like you're saying that the referees are the only way the Celtics win, but the Celtics have won what one championship since 2007, and that's a lot for some franchises. But they won with their amazing team back then. They won, I forget, was it last year or the year before, and like they're not this like perennial juggernaut as much as any other team is right now that makes it to the finals. And they're still not even in the finals. So I just don't quite understand it. Like the Denver Broncos are my favorite football team. They seem to make the Super Bowl every 10 years or so. And if you want to say that the referee, one of the referees at that time got them there, I'd be like, okay, maybe that's possibly true. This is sports. Things happen. But for a Celtics fan who had, 15 years of championships, if he cares this much, and then he's got the one 15 years ago, and then he's got one a couple years ago, you're this butthurt, bro. It just doesn't add up for me, Eric.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a strange story, but I just don't see. Look, maybe I'm just too jaded. Maybe the glass is just half empty, but I just don't see this. I don't see this happening if there's no foul play at all. Like something's got to be happening, right?
I'm
Like
trying to, yeah, go ahead.
well, no, I was just trying to remember watching the Netflix documentary, and obviously they can't go completely over the top and just start doing whatever it is they want. But I think at one point in that documentary, he says, I can swing the game 6 to 8 points or something like that. So seems to me like something's going down, but what do I know? Maybe it's all in the level. I mean, why go out of your way to defend yourself as a referee with your burner account? It kind of just feels like you have a guilty conscience, I guess is the point.
This thing says it's fake. This website, HITC. Is that the phone company?
I don't know.
I think so. But they said it's fake. I've lost my spot now, which was a great move by me.
Wait, they say that that's not his account?
No, they say the record of LeBron being 0-82
Okay. That
as a
that
referee, but the pair do have history. I mean, the 0-82, that's the
that's
amount of games in a
ridiculous.
season. That could have been just somebody saying like he's got an insane record. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. They've cross passed earlier this season with an egregious no call took place, and James attempted a layup with seconds left, was clearly fouled by Jason Tatum. But what's the evidence that this guy is a clear Celtics fan? Maybe that's something worth investigating too. Maybe that's another video we should do. LeBron James weighs in on NBA investigation into Eric Lewis.
But LeBron can't
Uh,
be trusted either.
no,
Quite clearly.
exactly, because he flops so much. And remember the thing where he was lying and he says, "I just jumped into the crowd because my momentum was taking me there," even though he calmly walked over to the crowd and did what he did.
Yeah, this guy.
Um, Naturally led to questions. Luckily for them, reading this article, all these articles just copy each other straight up. Midnight after late, this team had got the no call. You guessed it, it's the Celtics. In the midst of the country, Lakers fan found old social media posts of Lewis's family in Celtics gear. They're not going to link to here. And one only has to go to Basketball Reference to see the team. It's the Celtics. Oh, so he does link to it, I think. Is this all his games refed?
Okay.
Perhaps?
It,
Yeah, we're getting a little bit deep into this. Maybe for another time. But long story short, I think that's probably this guy's account. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah, I not only do I think it's probably his account, but I think he's probably been doing something shady in the league.
Turn it up, Jordan.